Alright, so today we're going to close this fiberglass pool that you're looking at. It's a 15 by 34, and the first thing you're going to do when you're closing your pool is taking off the eyeball returns, and they usually pop right off simply just by nudging them with a like a slot screwdriver, and they just thread right out. And for most fiberglass pools, you're going to have 3, maybe 4 returns in most cases. See, we've got our security cover that is ready to go on top of the pool, and we've got our plugs that we're going to put in here in a second. The first thing we have to do is we've got to blow out our filter system, and that's the first thing that we're going to show you, is how to blow out the filter system. Alright, most saltwater systems just come right off, and what you're seeing here is an acid solution that is being mixed with water that is used to clean the cells of the saltwater system. And so that's important to clean any scale off at the end of the season. Right now the pump is on, and that's just because we're draining some water out of the pool. We're going to drain the water to roughly just to the bottom of the skimmer. You really don't need to drain it any further. And now we're going to bring out our compressor to be able to blow out the lines as soon as our water level is where it should be. But you don't want to forget about doing that with your saltwater system. And most systems, as you can see at the bottom of this cell here, have a cap or a lid that you can use so that you can stand them up vertically like you see there, and let them soak and let them clean out, which is exactly what this one is doing here. Much better to clean it at the end of the season than at the beginning of the season in terms of stuff building up on it. Alright, so now what we're going to do, you see the compressor here. The compressor is connected to a plug that is going to go into the line to blow out those return lines. So he's going to go ahead and place now that plug into the return line. So once that's in place, that's going to allow us to turn it on, of course, and blow all of the water out of the pool's return lines. Come over here to the pool. We're going to see the air come out here in a second. Okay, so now you're seeing the air come out of the return lines. And of course, one by one, you'll put the plugs back into the return line and just give it a little tightener up with a screwdriver or whatever you're using. So we got 2 plugged at this point and tightened now. So we just have one more return left. And there you have it. So at this point we've got the 3 returns that are plugged, and we've also got to plug the skimmer. Alright, so now we're going to do the skimmer. It's called a gizmo that you put into the skimmer, and what it does, it's going to thread in to the suction hole. This is before you blow the line, and then we're going to blow the line here in a second. You're going to see how this works. It comes right out of the top of this little gizmo gadget. It's pretty cool. seeing here, there's two plugs on most pumps. You've got a plug in your strainer pot, and you've got a plug in your wet end, and you want to make sure to take both those off and of course let the water out of the pump. And you've got your sand filter as well, or your cartridge, but on the back side of it you've got a plug as well. So you want to drain your filter, whatever that is, be it sand or cartridge, what have you, and you want to take both plugs out of your pump. Definitely don't want any water in there. That's bad. You want to take off your pressure gauge from the top. Those pressure gauges, you leave them there, they go bad. Pressure gauges typically only last 1-2 seasons anyway. They're a pretty common replacement. And you've got your sight glass for sand filters. You have a little sight glass that you take out as well. Again, getting all the water out of the system. Alright, so we've taken out all of our plugs, we've taken out our sight glass, we've drained the filter tank, we've put our gizmo in the skimmer, we've plugged our return lines, and now we've taken the same piece for the compressor and put it into our suction lines of the pool, which are the bottom drains and the skimmer. And so now we're going to blow this part of it out too. You can see now that the water has been drained down essentially to the lower level, almost to the bottom screw there of the skimmer. The mesh cover, this allows the water to, when it rains, to build up a little bit without overflowing the pool. Most cases that's really never a problem during the off season with these mesh covers. Rarely ever do you have to take more water out. So he's blowing the bottom drains here, bottom suctions really. Okay. So once we blow those out, there's really not a plug for the bottom suctions. It's just an airlock. And so then we're going to turn the valve at the filter system to take it from the bottom suctions or bottom drains to the skimmer itself. Now it's coming out of that gizmo that you saw earlier. Alright, so all the water is out of that line, and the gizmo just has one little piece, that little black piece right there, that will go into that top portion. You see how the water is below the top of the gizmo. So that's how you get all the water out of that line. Okay, so we are just about there. Our filter system is square. We've cleaned our saltwater system, taken it off, taken out our strainer pot. We have taken out all of our plugs and our sight glass, loosened everything up. Drained our water down, we plugged it all. Again, you see the water's just drained down slightly. You definitely don't want to drain it down very much, especially with a fiberglass or a vinyl liner pool. That's not a good idea. And now we're going to put the cover on here in a second.